Hello and welcome to Expats Everywhere. If you could tell us your name, where you're from, and a little about yourself.
Hi, my name is Mills. I am from New York. I now live in the Dominican Republic in Santiago. A little bit about myself. I decided to move here to teach abroad. So that's originally what brought me here. Um, Myself in general, I don't even know. I like soccer, traveling.
What countries have you worked in?
I have actually only worked in the United States where I'm from and here in the Dominican Republic. So this was the first move that I made internationally, but I have worked in two different cities here.
Okay, great. Well, what's it like working in Dominican Republic?
Definitely different than in the United States or especially in New York. So I had a brief 9-month stint in Arizona before I moved here since my family's there and worked a little bit, but all of my work experience before that is in New York, specifically a lot in Manhattan. So coming from Manhattan to a small town in the mountains here was just insane. I know teaching is different than what I was doing, but I really had to adjust to timeliness. We would have a meeting at 8 a.m. and it wouldn't start until literally 10. So things like that, it's a different work environment, more casual, more friendly. Yeah, but the negatives is the lack of organization and timeliness. Just things take longer, and I mean, I'm sure that happens in the States as well. But then on the positive, everyone's a lot friendlier and more warm and welcoming. So that was, it wasn't an experience. It's completely different, but it was good.
Let us know, are you a Spanish speaker?
I I hate that question because I say yes, I am, but I don't want anyone to be like, let's hear it. But I am. I do speak Spanish. I spoke Spanish before I moved here. I took it in high school and college a little bit, but it's completely different when you move and
Sure.
you think that you can. No, rude awakening. It was so bad. But now I'm a lot better, and I am taking lessons right now also, just to kind of help with the grammar, past tense, and everything. I really want to be fluent by the time I leave.
Okay, sweet. What kinds of
Yeah.
jobs are available for English-speaking expats in Dominican Republic?
Okay, so a lot of people will come here to teach specifically. I taught fourth grade, so I was teaching every subject. But what I would recommend and what most people do is come just to teach English. And there's so many international schools here, especially along the coast in more touristy areas. That's pretty much, you'll get paid more. That's the most popular job, I would think. And then anything in the hotel industry, there's lots of there's lots of expats working there who can speak English, Spanish, maybe another language. And then call centers, they are another often looked at position for expats, but they pay well, but I don't think they would pay as well as a steady teaching position.
Okay, so it really seems like when we talk to people, when we talk to expats, that teaching is kind of a gateway for people to become expats, and it sounds like you are as well because you said that you're not a teacher anymore. So what are you doing?
Yes, so I definitely thought maybe I would teach another year, and if I was teaching English, I might be, but what I was doing was just so I was a real teacher. Now I'm working online remotely, which I was doing before I moved here, and I kept that job all through the school year just because I needed that little extra income. And so now I'm just doing that full time. I have some new clients, mostly social media and marketing design things.
So what does a
Yeah.
typical day look like for you?
So I have only been in Santiago in the city for about a month now. So I'm still kind of adjusting, getting into a routine, but I have decided that working in my house is a little bit difficult for me. I can't really focus. And also libraries aren't really a thing here. Not a lot of coffee shops or places I would normally work. So I found the university library. So I'll go over there and they're not really strict. They just let anyone in and do some work there. I usually try to like eat at home, breakfast or lunch, and then maybe go out to dinner, order dinner, go to the gym. It's a lot. It's like a pretty typical life. I'm not doing anything like crazy or adventurous here, but I do on the weekends try to like make some time to go do things outside the city, beaches, hiking, things like that.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And you also snuck in there like a little business opportunity for someone who's listening. Open up a cafe where people can go
Right.
study and work.
Yes, I
Come
was
on,
looking into that.
expats.
Like a remote those shared spaces, remote workspaces. I
Yeah.
was literally looking into opening one here, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Well, we'll put your contact information below.
Great.
So if any investors are looking for a new place to go, you can
Let me
hit up
know.
Mills. Yeah, that's it. That's awesome. Okay, so can you tell us about any other jobs you know that are available that maybe a friend worked in?
Well, a lot of people that come to the Dominican Republic that I guess would be considered expats are missionaries.
Okay.
So if there's any type of like religious or non-religious background, there's so many organizations here that you can work with. One of the other schools in the town I was in, everyone there is technically a missionary, and they have way more Americans than my school did. But I've also met people that are working in like on the beach towns, and they're like there's a bunch of like sports programs and organizations, nutrition organizations. So really like whatever you're interested in, there's an opportunity here. The only problem is it might not pay, or it might not pay well. So, I mean, in my outlook, I would always just say get a job online and then do what you want if it's like a volunteer opportunity, because now there's just so many jobs online. I also have a couple friends who teach English online for like VIP kids or Magic Ears, something like that. And then they'll do like they'll teach at the school here, they'll teach at a language center here, or they just, that's their job. They just teach online. Besides resorts and hotels and call centers and maybe like hospitals or universities, there's not so many jobs for expats here.
Would you mind dropping the name of the website that you recommend?
Yeah, sure. So I use FreeUp to work online, you mean?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm working for a company called FreeUp. I've been there for over a year now. And it's just like Upwork well, I wouldn't say just like Upwork. It's way better than Upwork or a site. It's better than a site where you are up against like thousands of people applying for the same job for pretty low rates. So I can set my own rates. They put up all the clients that are so many industries and different skill sets. So pretty much what you can do online, there'll be a job for that, and it just makes it super easy to find clients and set your own hours, and it's been really great.
Let's transition to talking about the finances of it. How much can you expect to earn as a teacher, and then how much can you expect to earn doing marketing?
Okay, so when I'll talk about myself first, my school, they paid $400 a month for
USD.
teachers. You have to like love the country to come here, because Asia and Europe and everywhere else in the world pays way better
Right.
than here. It's just insane. The average income for a Dominican here or anyone here is $200 a month. So it's really low. So when I would tell people that I'm making 20,000 pesos, which is about $400, they were like mind blown, like, oh my gosh, you're rich. I'm like, well, not really, because I still have bills back home that I'm paying. So that I would say 400 is like a good basis, but I was also in a smaller town. I know people who lived in Punta Cana, for example, where a lot of expats live, and wealthier people, more international schools, and they're making like 600, 700, sometimes like apartment included. I'm sure it varies. There are also like for example, Santiago Christian School is a big school here in this city, and they have a ton of Americans, and they make like 25,000 a year dollars. So it really does vary, and it's a if you can get in an international school and you want to be a full time teacher teaching multiple subjects, and not just like one learning to speak English class, then you can make more, but don't expect to come here and make a great salary. For my online job, it's really good because, like I said, I'm paying bills back home and I'm living alone. So I have to pay all my rent and it's more expensive in the city. So that is great because I'm getting paid in dollars. Yeah, you can set your own rate. I have clients from $20 an hour to $40 an hour, sometimes like a little bit more for projects here and there. But I would say my consistent rate is like 35 an hour.
Okay. So among the job that you had and then the job that you quoted, the big international school, that's a huge salary range. We're talking from 5,000, a little less than 5,000, up to 25,000. What do you think is like the average salary for an expat?
I would say on the low that are living in like working here, getting a
Yes.
salary here. I would say on the lower end of that, because you throw in all the other missionaries who aren't getting paid or getting support from the states, and then there's only a few of those really high-paying international schools. So I honestly would say like between $5,000 and $10,000 if you're going to have a job.
So for the next line of questioning, let's stick with $5,000 per year. That's per year, people, not per month, per year. So 5,000 per year. Do you think this is enough money? And what kind of lifestyle can you live?
So I tried to make a video about this and I cut the whole thing out about how you can live on that because I'm a member of an expat group and there's like 4,000 people in it that are living here. And there's so many conversations like how much do I need to live? And people comment 200 a month and then people comment 10,000 a month. So it's like there's so many different you need to really base on your lifestyle, right? So if you have kids and you need to pay for an international school because don't put them in a public school here. You want to buy a car, gas is over $4 a gallon. Then you want to be like in a beach town on a resort. It really varies. For me, if I didn't have bills back home, I can live on that amount. If I wasn't living in this apartment. So for those who have families and maybe have some help in rent or are willing to live like a Dominican, like in a small neighborhood and not so nice house all the time, maybe don't have hot water or electricity all the time, then yeah, you can definitely make it work because the average salary for a Dominican is $200 a month. I mean, they are making it work. You eat rice and beans and chicken every day. But I would say I was not willing to do that when I moved. I knew that I was going to keep my online job because, if you're coming to another country to live, it might be because you love the country and you want to really, really live like a local. But I feel like there's so many cool spots around the country you want to tour and be able to have these experiences. So definitely possible. And I've definitely seen people do it. But I would say the majority of expats are not living on $5,000 a year. They're living on more than that or relying on income from the States.
Yeah, I think in general, we find that our audience is really looking to move and upgrade their lifestyle, right? So, so you wouldn't necessarily want to be living like a local per se.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. Some people do, and they save boatloads of money.
Right.
But yeah, usually people are looking to move and upgrade their lifestyle. So that's really cool that you shared that with us. I know it's always tough to kind of answer that question of, how much is enough. It all depends on the lifestyle. But it sounds like you found a really good sweet spot.
Yes.
How much money can you save if you're, let's say for you, if you're making $5,000 a year, can you save any of that?
I probably would not be able to. And what I've found from talking to the Dominicans, they're not really saving a lot either. And that's a super wide generalization. But this is more from the town I was in, Jarabacoa. That yeah, they're like living, but they're not saving. And that salary that I was getting is more than they're making. So
Mm.
my coworkers that did not have second jobs, they are not saving either.
Okay.
Just because, if you're paying $100 a month for rent there, like, or less up in the mountain, and then $100 a month for food, more probably, you're gonna blow through that really quickly. So I don't think you can save. No one I know that makes that money and doesn't have backup jobs saves.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
How much money do you need to start up being able to transition there, whether it be flights or, living expenses for the first couple of months? What would you recommend?
Yeah, so I think that I like to kind of plan ahead as best as I can, do a lot of research. I would be comfortable with like 6 months of living money in your country. So not 6 months of salary in the US, but 6 months here.
Mm.
So, I mean, I had that and more, but starting up, it really depends. I mean, for me, I came here single, just me. I came with one suitcase and two backpacks. So I wasn't like moving my whole life there. I have some stuff at my parents' house. People that are coming with their families, on the other hand, I know one American family that has 4 kids, a big house, and they brought everything in those like shipping pods. So I don't even want to know how much they spent. But for me, it was probably like 1 or 2 grand between the flights, layovers and whatnot. I bought a bunch of like new stuff, getting my insurance set up and school supplies. But yeah, it's not that much. You can come with even less.
Okay. And those of you who are listening, we've partnered up with Foreign Ship. So if you want to check out the description below, you can go over to Foreign Ship's website and see what their rates are. They're great people. They'll take care of you getting your stuff moved from one country to another. How should someone pack to move there, and what's the weather like?
So it's so humid in the Dominican Republic. I thought it was humid in New York in the summer. No. It depends on what town you're living in. In the mountains where I was, it has a nice breeze. Average temperature is like 75 to 85, less humidity. So that is good. Now in Santiago, this applies to Santo Domingo too. They're pretty similar. Super hot. So I would pack a lot of lightweight shirts. And then I will say shorts for girls are not super popular here. Mostly they all wear long pants, which an adjustment period for me. But yeah, whatever shirt that's lightweight is good. It is hot. Yeah, I would just bring the necessities, but clothes are hard to find here. They are all imported. They're more expensive than you'll find in the States. There's not a wide selection of sizes at all. I don't buy clothes here at all.
You actually led us right into the next question, which is, what are things you can't find in Dominican Republic you recommend people should bring?
Yes. So clothes, definitely. Anything that you like, bring that. You're not going to find it. Even a lot of my Dominican friends here, they order clothes online from the States because they just, and it's just more expensive. You might be able to find it here, but you pay like double because they import it. So any clothes that you like, shoes, because there's just terrible shoes, no variety, small sizes. I would also bring, if you are coming to live here and you're not coming to a furnished apartment or anything, bring your, I don't know how to say this, like pots and pans,
Okay.
appliances that you can, because there's lower quality appliances here. So I would bring like pots and pans. If you can bring a microwave or a TV, it actually might make more sense to pay for the shipping than to get one here. And then I would just bring anything in bulk. Like I bring all my contact solution that you can't really find a lot of brand variety here. And then any American foods or any foods from your country that you want, they're going to be way more expensive here.
How do you cope without these certain things? You're always bringing it in, or have you found a way to like find a substitute in Dominican Republic?
Yeah, I actually am able to ship things here, so that's nice. My boyfriend actually has like a shipping address in Miami, and it just gets forwarded right here, and we go pick it up. So that's really convenient. So I can use Amazon, and then I'm just paying the weight from Miami to Santiago. So it's not that bad. But I've just gotten used to not having everything that I'm used to from home, because as hard as it is not to compare and be like, why don't they have this? Like, why don't they have my contact solution? Um, it's a different country, and you're not moving to another country to, I would assume, have the exact same experience. So I've just adjusted, and then when I do go home, I bring or leave a bunch of space in my bag and just bring all that stuff back at once.
Such good advice. You're not moving to another country to have the exact same experience. That's great. Let's shift gears. Let's talk about safety. How safe is it there, and do you feel safe on a personal level?
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty safe here. I would say my parents and a lot of other people were super worried that I was moving here alone. But there are more like petty theft, robberies, and all of that. I've had friends who are walking on the street and their bags get stolen just right off from them because motorcycles are so popular here. So they'll just drive by and take it and go. Nothing at all has happened to me. I would not say, hopefully my parents are not watching. I will not say that I'm like the safest person. When I first moved here, I didn't really have friends. So I would go everywhere by myself in the guagua, which is like the local bus, by myself, anything. So I feel safe here, but now that I'm in the city, I do take more precautions. I have a car now, and that I feel safer. I don't think I would want to be here without a car, because walking around, I'm scared I'm going to get hit by a car more than like any crime or safety issues, because the driving here is, I think, second worst in the world for accidents, right after like Thailand. So I mean, I feel safe, but I do take some precautions, especially being in the city. Locking doors and not being out in the street at night.
How do you meet people, and what do you do for fun?
So I feel like meeting people is hard. I don't know how other expats feel, but I'm kind of shy. So I won't, like when I go to the beach or whatnot, I'm not going to go up to people and introduce myself or anything. If people talk to me, that's great. But I met most of my friends through school. So other teachers from the other school. There's some like volunteer opportunities I did in town that I met people as well. I would say that I'm glad that I was at a school with Dominican staff as well. Otherwise, I don't think I would have any like Dominican girlfriends, because they're so hard for me to make friends with, Dominican girls. Now I have some because of the school. Since I'm working online now, I really have to make an effort to meet people. It's not as like, just a given. But there's lots of meetups in this country for expats, on the beach specifically where more live. So I don't think if you're looking for a network, it's hard. I mean, I play on like a girls soccer like pickup league now. So there's opportunities if you want friends. And then for fun, this is so lame, but I really do like going to the gym, because I had a year in the other town and there was just like no gym that I wanted to go to that was functional. So being here, I like doing that. I really like going to restaurants here. They just like last couple of years, I guess food trucks became super popular. So there's a good amount of like food truck little neighborhood park things. So checking those out, I really like. There's not like bowling or like, I don't know, big shopping malls that we might go to in the States, but I do go to a lot of movies here. They get pretty much all the ones that we have. And then I'm not doing as good of a job as I should be, but I really like getting to the beach, going to the waterfalls, kind of just doing stuff outside that I haven't done.
How's the healthcare, and do you feel comfortable getting a procedure done there?
Uh, so yeah, healthcare here is different than in the States. I got healthcare through the school,
Okay.
and something definitely to confirm with your job. If you actually have 100% coverage, I feel like they just like throw that around, but basically not a lot was covered for that year that I saw. So if you're getting a job and it says all of these benefits, just like really double check on them. Yeah, medical, I had a procedure done in Haruoko. I would not do it again. I had to get it redone last, like when I went to the States in July. Just was in a clinic, not clean, just some sketchy things going on, but that was up there, right? So now I'm in the city and there's a really great hospital like 5 minutes down the road. And I think it's one of the best in the country. It's called Holmes. And I feel comfortable going there. I don't think that I would get like a massive procedure or a big surgery or anything, but for anything small or just going to the doctor, they have specialists and everything. That's fine. I wouldn't do anything serious. The health insurance here, it's not so expensive, so it's definitely worth getting. And yeah, it's just you have to know that it's different from the States and be willing to kind of adapt to that and wait for hours in the doctor's office.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Do you think that Dominican Republic is a good travel hub? Why or why not?
Yes, I definitely think so. I feel like Costa Rica is like a big deal. Kind of everyone talks about Costa Rica and like loves it. But I've never been. I'm
Costa
sure I would
Rica's
love it.
had its day, and that was like
Right?
15 years
It's
ago.
are. I think that we have the same things that they do. I haven't been there, but that's what I've heard. And it's cheaper. So
Hmm.
it is getting like more and more expensive to do certain things on the coast and in tourist locations, but overall it's affordable. So if you're trying to come here and travel and see like local life and not be in a place that, oh, I'm here on vacation but it's all foreigners or all Americans, there's not so many places like that, and you can get vacations from like extremely high level fancy resorts to a bunch of hostels, beaches, waterfalls, mountains. There's just so many outdoor activities here. And I mean, yeah, come. People should come here. It's great.
That's nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Costa Rica is a place that does have everything. I'm not trying to knock Costa Rica, Pura Vida people. But
No.
the thing about Costa Rica is it's just had so many expats and so many
Yeah.
investors go in with money that it's just driven up the cost. So a place like Dominican Republic is much cheaper for the
Yeah.
same or similar experience, I guess.
Similar.
Yeah.
Maybe not this level of vacation, but
Yeah.
same experiences. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Well, let's wrap it up. If you could tell us, what are the pros and cons of living in Dominican Republic?
The pros, I would say, life is just more relaxed, so that's pretty cool. You don't have that insane level of pressure or stress every day. People are nicer, I think, overall, more understanding and approachable. I feel like here I can go up to anyone and ask for help, and they would help me. My car breaks, and I'm not kidding. Within 1 minute, there's like 5 people jumping my car or like helping, which I feel like I don't see as much from where I'm from. So I like that here. There's so many beautiful places in the country outside, and yeah, overall, it's just like a relaxing, cool, uh, in place to be, and I really like the culture. On the cons, it's just completely different in terms of like living experience. So where I was living, it was rougher. You had to get used to, depending on what kind of lifestyle you're living. I had to get used to no hot water, and a lot of times I didn't have electricity, and paying bills just takes twice as long, and maybe you're getting charged way more, and that's never going to get resolved. You know, it there's I think like the cons are more just stem from the conveniences in the States. Like, you're not going to get all those conveniences or options or choices. Customer service here is a big con, I would say. That's something that I'm like trying to get used to. If you are willing to like give up some conveniences and, I don't know, things that make life way easier and run more smoothly, then overall there's not a crazy amount of cons.
Awesome. Well, if
Yeah.
people want to get in touch with you and see what the content you have on YouTube is, how do they find you?
So you can just search mills around. In my head that was like a pun, mill around, mill about, mills around. But I'm not seeing so many people get it, but it's all right. So they can just search mills around, and
I 100% got it whenever we linked up a couple weeks ago. I was like, that's
thank
so
you.
funny. Love it.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you can just find me on that. And my email's linked there too. If you want to reach out, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions at all about the Dominican Republic or moving abroad as a single female, anything like that.
Guys, Rebecca's got some awesome content on her channel. I'm not just saying that. I went over to her channel, checked her out, and I was like, I've got to interview this girl. She's really well spoken, is great on camera. So listen, thank you so much for meeting with us. We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time.
Thank you. This is awesome.